Welcome back, my students, to a brand new episode of Comet Class. And in today's lesson, guys, we're going to be looking at Deadly Class, issue 46, Savior Generation Part 2. And yeah, this issue deals with a good amount of stuff. It has reveals, it has plot twists for characters that survived, and we get to learn the fates of some of the people, that we were kind of worried about before this time skip started in the last issue. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into today's story. Let's go. So this story starts off with Marcus, Zinzelli, Tasawi, and I think her name is Jayla. And yeah, they're basically all just chilling on a boat, and we definitely can tell right off the bat that they're definitely older, like by a lot of years. And we get revealed that Helmet actually survived his battle with Marcus and getting shot down by Stefano. And yeah, we get to learn more about what happened that night, and we get to see that Marcus basically killed Stefano, it seems. And it's implied that he might have killed Maria, so we'll see if Maria survived. I highly doubt that she's dead though. And I was really surprised that Helmet actually survived. I was kind of mad when I heard about this, so I had looked at the comments before I had read the issue, and I got told that Helmet survived. But the way they explained it made it a lot more believable, in that they went and they took him to a hospital to try to save Helmet's life. Zinzelli and Tasawi, or Tashawi, I have no idea how you say his name. And yeah, basically they're just enjoying themselves, living their life. And eventually we get to see that Marcus is on this road trip, it seems, with Helmet and the others. And we get to see how the world is kind of, at this point in the story, with them being a little older. They're dealing with, some of the same stuff that they dealt with in King's Dominion, such as racism and that you see in the bathroom stall that, or the bathroom that Marcus is in. He kind of writes on it to make some type of joke, about this whole situation, which really shows Marcus still has a little bit of a humor side, even though he's gone through a lot of stuff. And yeah, we get to see that they're basically talking to each other, and Marcus is kind of on this mission to kind of get revenge on King's Dominion. But not only that, but he's kind of come to grips with himself, saying that he doesn't believe in leaving a lasting legacy, and that all that matters is getting what he wants done, and just enjoying life. And we get to see Marcus fall asleep, and he has this kind of dream that I guess is some type of premonition, or what he wants to do, with him taking out Master Lin, and basically saying that they need to kill all the snakes, that they're all rats, and that they need to kill all the snakes. And him and his group basically start taking out the people that are trying to kill them, and anyone that aligns themselves with Master Lin and his teachings that he's taught them. And yeah, it turns out that it was just a dream. One thing I will say before we stop, and go more into this story, I do want to say that I do think it's kind of weird how, Marcus knows that Jayla killed Victor in the last story arc, and apparently he's okay with it, or at least he's forgave her for it. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I thought him and Victor was getting along a lot more better, and it just feels kind of messed up that he's kind of okay with what Jayla did. But considering what happened with Marcus and Petra, I definitely could see a moment, especially with Marcus being way more older and more experienced, that he might not have actually forgave Jayla and will get his revenge for Victor in the future. So if that happens, I definitely called it. And yeah, so we get to see that Brandy actually has survived, and I guess she's married to Shabnam, at least this type of weird marriage. We don't get to see Shabnam other than in the dream flashback that we saw with Marcus when he had that dream. So we don't know how Shabnam looks at this moment, now that they're all older. But basically, the guy, Petra's father, stays with his group as Marcus and his friends basically set fire to, this group of believers, Petra's father's religion thing that they had, the people that had attacked Marcus and his group in the last story arc. And Helmet and Marcus and all of them basically burn these people down to the ground, their whole area where they were worshiping this like satanic stuff and all that. And he basically dies, I guess, with his people. At least that's what's implied. And he tells Brandy that she needs to go on, survive, and teach what he's taught her. And so it looks like Brandy might become an antagonist in the future as well. And the story ends with Marcus basically talking about that they have to try to save the moments that they enjoy, and just enjoy life. And that was the main topic of the entire issue. Basically, is not to try to make yourself immortal, but just to enjoy life while you're here and alive. And I thought that was pretty cool and amazing. And yeah, that's how the issue ends, with all of them just looking at the fire that they caused and kind of getting closure for Helmet and killing Petra's father and their death cult and stuff like that. This like satanic type cult. And it feels really good that, they finally were able to avenge Petra. And I guess in this way, maybe Mark is trying to redeem himself in Helmet's eyes, kind of like bury the hatchet between the two, because they did have a little bit of a back and forth early in the issue, talking about, that Marcus had left Helmet to die. But as Marcus said, Helmet was trying to kill him first. So it was just like, they could go back and forth all day. But it looks like they're finally burying the hatchet in this issue, and that this finally closes that chapter in their lives. It looks like we're heading towards the end game. To be honest, guys, the way the pacing was in this issue, I think that we are definitely heading towards the end game. I think I can see this lasting maybe one more story arc. I do think Deadly Class is going to come to an end, probably maybe on issue 60 or something. Like, I have a feeling it's going to end either at 60 or in the 50s. Because the way the pacing was, it was moving way too fast. And they're way too much older for them to just, like, wait till they're, like, full-on adults. And, I mean, they might be full-on adults. I have no idea. I don't think it said how old they were in this issue. You might have to go by the year. So I don't know exactly. But, yeah, they're definitely older by, like, a lot. And, yeah, I definitely think that the series is coming to an end really soon. Maybe in the next arc or two. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I really love this series, but I do want it to end with dignity and to be a good ending than rather just drag on and get really bad in the future. But that was Deadly Class issue 46, Savior Generation Part 2. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than the first part of the story arc. I think that it's going in a good direction, and even though Helmet surviving seems a little like iffy, kind of like fan servicey, we'll see what they do with it, and maybe he'll play a big part and have a big role in the future. Reading the notes at the end of the issue, Rick Remender did state that we are going to get a ton of action, that we need to be patient, that right now he's kind of just setting up all the characters. So yeah, I definitely do think we're going to the end game, and it will be a kind of like a bloodbath, and main characters will probably die in that final arc whenever it drops. And I can't wait to see what happens with Shabnam and Brandy as well. That's going to be a really interesting dynamic to see. And see if they actually did get married and stuff. And because Brandy did seem different, her personality, she seems a little bit like the same, but you can tell something's different about her. So we'll see how she plays as an antagonist, or if she turns good and doesn't follow what the guy said, Petra's father's teachings and that, and spreading it basically. But that's gonna be all, guys. Until next video, guys, God bless you. Until the next lesson, keep on reading those comments.
Needed clarity, so